Hello, my name is Zach Colflesh. I am a candidate for the ED Instruction and Curriculum Focus in Middle Grades. This presentation is for an action plan for hands-on learning. So please stick with me as we go through each part of the action plan. So to get us started, here are four major parts of the action plan. Hands-on learning, equals student-centered and active engagement. Our district's current practices has a major focus on heavy textbook and direct instruction instead of it being student-centered. Because of that, a lot of students are disengaged, and when students are disengaged, they're not going to be more inclined in learning whatever we're trying to teach them. So they're not going to experience the content in a deep, meaningful way. We also, with hands-on learning, it promotes understanding of world concepts. Students will be understanding how to apply what they learn to a real world application. And we live in the 21st century, so students should be able to critically think and be motivated to do that on their own. The action plan is backed by research and has a lot of benefits. So let's talk about the current district situation. So the district reporting showed there's a lot of disengagement in the core areas, and we want to try to alleviate that and have a higher level of engagement. And there's a lot of limited hands-on strategies in some subjects. There's a possibility that there's some teachers that have been teaching a certain way for a while, and they don't use hands-on learning as a resource. They have been stuck on teaching from the book and just giving the students notes and then testing them on them or quizzing them on it. Kids don't actually have their hands involved. For science, we have occasional labs and experiments, but again, there's a heavy influence on the textbook because that's what the curriculum says. For math and science, there's not a whole lot of models and projects that the students work together and have their hands used. It's a lot of, here's the math problems, solve it, or read this textbook for social studies, what happened? Kids don't get involved. And then we really need a consistent integration across the board, and the teachers need to be trained. So there are some teachers that desire strategies, but they lack structure and implementation plans for hands-on learning for their lessons. The purpose and goals of this action plan is, well, we want to boost engagement. So if the students are engaged, they are more than likely to be interested in what they're learning. And because of that, the students will be a lot more successful academically. Like I said before, we live in a 21st century, and a lot of 21st century jobs require problem-solving skills and also being able to collaborate with others. Both of those are very key into future jobs. And I want the core classes and also even some of the extracurricular classes to have a hands-on approach, which again could boost engagement and academic success for their class. And then ultimately provide professional development for teachers so they could utilize tools and research and strategies for their lessons. So here are the proposed strategies that I am going to give the teachers. So for social studies and math, they could utilize project-based learning units. They could have a problem that they have and then create a project based on that to try to solve that problem utilizing hands-on approach. For science, yes, we have our science labs and experiments, but again, with the current district curriculum for science, there's not a whole lot of hands-on as much as us teachers are wanting. So being able to come up with more hands-on for the science will help with the student learning. And then with math and social studies, manipulatives, again, being able to them using their hands to create something instead of just reading a book or just writing down a math question and answering it. For tech tools, we're gonna get our technologists from our school and from the district get involved with that. Um, Tell us what simulations we have, what softwares that we could use that could help enhance our teaching even more, along with the hands-on approach. So here's the tentative timeline overview. So we're going to be starting in August because that's the beginning of the school year. I'm going to present to my admin, which is my principal and my assistant principal, uh, get their kind of feedback, how to improve. And then after that, after they approve it, I'm going to get with the curriculum team, which consists of me, the admin, the content chairs for middle school and high school, because my school is combined together. The ISSs, which are like curriculum coaches for my local school, and then also for the content areas of math, science, social studies, ELA, and talk about the action plan and then how we're going to implement it in an effective manner. And then in October, again, with the admin, fill out the proper paperwork and channels to purchase the materials that we need to be successful. And then in November, we are going to do a staff professional development sessions and basically help teach the teachers how to implement hands-on learning in their classroom. And then in January, no, in December 2025, we're gonna pilot the lessons. Me and a couple others are going to implement it in our own lessons and being able to teach the students with hands-on approach. And then in January, we're gonna get back together. We're gonna revise and review our lessons of the hands-on approach and see what worked and see what didn't work. The stakeholder roles. So for teachers like myself, we're going to be ones that are implementing the hands-on strategies in the lessons. The ISS and curriculum team are, again, that's teachers and ISS, which are like curriculum coaches, and they're going to be help support the planning and the modeling. Admin, they play a major role. They're the ones that's going to be approving the plan, and then they're going to be providing flexible schedules, and they're going to be the ones that's going to be basically our cheerleaders. And then the most important role is the students. They're going to be engaged, actively reflect, and collaborate during the activities. So for the resources and budget, the 760 is an estimate from a site that I got, which is linked in my reference page. This is for the initial materials. This isn't for all of it, because you don't want to buy a lot of stuff and then end up not using it. So we'll get the initial materials, which are about $760. And then for the staff PD, like I'm gonna be creating the PD, professional development, and showing the hands-on approach, and that's not gonna cost the school anything. The curriculum and ISS team will collaborate. Each for the ISS, they are experts in their own field, and they will have such relevant and important input in the action plan and improving it. And then I'll be working with the technologists with the access of the simulations of what we have, what we don't have, and what we could try to get to be successful. So we gotta keep in mind that my action plan is cost effective, and we're trying to make it sustainable. So probably the most important part of an action plan is saying what our outcomes are going to be or what we're looking for. So if we don't have a plan or a goal, then we're not going to be able to reach it. So our expected outcomes is we're going to have increased student motivation. Like the students are going to be engaged, and they're going to be critically thinking, and with all those, students are going to be more successful in the class. So with the engagement and critical thinking and through motivation, the students are going to have an improved understanding of concepts, and they're going to do better overall academically. They're going to have higher scores on tests. And then we want teachers to gain confidence and hands-on instructional strategies. We want teachers to be okay with trying something new and then continue to do it in a manner of they become experts in it. The district will overall see the academic outcomes in STEM and core areas. So here is the supporting research for the action plan that shows that this action plan will work. It shows that motivation through experience is going to help the students learn better. Traditional methods, it limits the students, while hands-on, it can open a lot of doors. And then professional development is very important for teachers to implement the strategies in the right way. And then on top of that, it shows a hands-on learning boosts success. The next steps in call to action all right, we got to get admin approval in the beginning of the school year. And then we are going to purchase supplies, and then we're going to schedule the PD within that staff meeting, and then have the select teachers and dates that we are going to pilot those lessons. And then we're going to launch and monitor effective lessons in multiple teachers' classes. And then we're going to collect the feedback and then adapt to make our lessons even better. Us teachers are reflective participants, which means we're going to take what we've done, take the good parts of it, we're going to use those again, and then we're going to take what didn't work and improve those and ultimately make our lessons better. Then we're going to invite administrators and stakeholders to support and champion this shift for district and school growth. So here is my references. Feel free to, when I sent this out, click on the links and be able to see each of these resources that I used to come up with this action plan. And I want to say thank you for listening, and have a nice day.